guys. So the last time we put up a video was December 22nd. I know that we were delaying on December 16th purely just because Sankalp and I were having our finals, so we just decided to delay the one episode to next week. But as you guys can tell by the format, it's a lot different. So Sankalp, you want to tell them what's been going on?
Yeah, so welcome everyone to a special edition of Brown Voice Theory, where
That's true.
we are in the stay-at-home order currently in California, and what we're doing here is we're obeying that stay-at-home order, but we're still recording our episodes because we love you guys so much.
Yeah. So we were planning to meet up, I think, right before the whole thing happened, and then once the state put out the whole mandate saying that that we have to stay at home and we really can't go outside unless it's essential. We just decided to do a virtual Zoom meeting. So Salcom and I are still going to be doing it. We can still bring on guests and just make sure that we still got content for you guys because we obviously do support you guys for being on our Instagram, being on our YouTube, Spotify, everything. So really appreciate you guys for that.
And speaking of guests, let's talk about the guest we have today.
Exactly.
So this is our first guest episode, and we have a very special guest. We went to high school together. He's one of my good friends, and he's here to tell his story. So without any further ado,
all right, let's bring him in.
Let's call in Mr. Leopold Dippin.
All right, we're back.
All right, Leo, we're recording. We're live, everything. Say hello to everyone. How are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Leopold Dippin. I don't know, maybe first guest on the podcast. And
yes, sir.
Let's get into it. Went to school with SANKALP, and let's get into it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So before we get deep into the conversation, I'm just going to ask you a little bit to get you familiar with the guests and so that they can know you a little bit. So, Leo, where are you at right now for college or studies, or what's going on in your life right now?
So I am currently, technically I'm a freshman at Cal State Long Beach. However, most of my fall semester, I was on medical leave. We can get into that later. And I'm actually currently trying to re-enroll because I was put on medical leave for both the remainder of the fall semester from around October until now. And then I was also put on medical leave for the upcoming spring semester. However, my recovery has been going really well, and I've been trying to re-enroll so I can start classes in January, just to get on there because I still want to graduate in 4 years, and could be difficult if I miss a full year.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And other than that, because we're definitely gonna get into the whole situation in the episode.
Yeah.
So actually, well, it's up to you. Do you want to do some more questions right now, or do you want to get right into it?
No, I mean, we should probably get into it. I feel like it gives context, and also I have a lot to say about it. It's interesting.
Yes, that definitely
I don't want to overmarket it, but it's pretty interesting.
It definitely is. So I think we should just get into it. So I know even Anish isn't familiar with this part of everything.
No, I mean, I'm just meeting him for the first time, so at least making new friends here.
Yeah. So I think we should really get into it because people should know about this.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. Where do you want me to start? Just
wherever you feel the most comfortable.
Okay, let's go. So back in late September of this year, somebody tried to murder me, and I'm not going to name names, but you can probably go out and find it. There's a few local news articles about it. In Sacramento, I don't know how wide our viewership is, but this is a guy I've known since we were about 7, 8, and with apparently no motive so far, no clear motive. He invited me to go fishing and then attacked me with a bat and try to murder me, try to beat me to death. So if we want to go through this as a timeline, around 5 a.m. I live in Sacramento kind of residential area, and I was out to meet him in Yolo County, which is about halfway between Sacramento and Davis for other viewers. And this is a fishing spot along a canal that I've been to before, including with this guy. And right as I pulled up, He had driven separately from me, which was already a little bit suspicious. I live very close to him, and I offered to drive him, but he refused. And then he runs at me right as I'm getting out of my car with a metal baseball bat. Which should be important. He's left-handed, so that comes up in a second. Because then he hits me, a metal baseball bat, by the way. If you get hit in the head with it, you're gonna black out immediately. I don't remember anything for 3 days after that. But from what I know, from what I've heard in the past months, I can kind of piece together what happened next. So I go down. Important to note, I land. Normally, when you fall down, you have a reaction. You put your arms out or something, and you slow yourself down. But if you're out cold, you just fall forward. And in this case, it was on a gravel parking lot, and my chin hit the ground first, which actually knocked out one of my my upper left tooth. It's fake now, and it's a little loose, so I can move it. But yeah, you lost that tooth and chipped 6 others, and then he dragged me from there because the gravel parking lot was right parallel to the road. It's a country road near the highway, near the 80, going towards Davis, and he drags me from there to kind of the bank of the canal. If I understand correctly, I haven't gone back yet, and I don't have access to police reports. But either way, it was a position out of view of the road. And this was around 5 a.m. And then I got found around 7:45, 8 a.m. by another fisherman who was walking along the canal. I end up in the hospital. I wake up 3 days later. But really, I've made a very good recovery. Other than the teeth, the biggest thing they did was, I'm wearing this hat. It's not as obvious now, but you can kind of see my hairline. My head's asymmetric right now because right here from above my eye, I hope everybody watches the video version of this, but to about over my ear, kind of here, the skull was cut out because when I was hit in the head, which is also, that's usually wouldn't make sense that I was hit on the right side, but he was left-handed, considering how you hold the bat. There was internal bleeding kind of under the skull, and the brain was swelling, so they had to cut off part of the skull, and that's going to get reinstalled. I don't know why I said reinstalled in like 2 months, late February. But that's the biggest procedure that was performed. And otherwise, since then, I have not dealt with too much. Doctors have said my recovery has been far above average. Usually something like this, first of all, it's only about a 10 to 15% chance of survival, is what I was told. And even within that, it's very likely that you have severe brain damage. So I don't know, I'm pretty dumb, but I don't think I have brain damage yet.
And but at least you're lucky, and at least it's grateful that, you know, nothing at least really, really bad could have happened to you, at least.
Yeah,
at least
no,
you made it
I
out
feel
there.
lucky. I feel very lucky. I guess I could comment on that too. I feel like I definitely have an option for life that I didn't have before after this.
Yeah, and
All right,
just like
yeah,
just to be like, because we were all, we have a lot of, you know, the friend group that we're in, and everyone, all of our boys and everyone, just like we were texting like crazy. We were texting everyone, and we were just like, dude, what's happening? Like, because one person sent it in the group chat like, oh, yo, is Leopold okay? And no one before that knew what the situation was, right? So all of a sudden we're all panicking, like, oh my God, what's wrong with Leopold? What's going on with Leopold? And then we're kind of we read the article, found the basics out, and then we're just kept in the dark. We're like, is Leopold okay? Like, what's going on with him and everything, you know? Like, how's
Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna continue and say, like, when you finally took to Instagram, to your spam account, and you posted, you know that you're built different. We're like, we're so grateful in that time. We're just so thankful that, you know, it was clear that you had been through so much, but, you know, the fact of the matter is, dude, you're so tough for making it out for that. and that's like
Thanks, man.
crazy amount of respect to you for that.
It's mostly luck, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank
you're
you.
a fighter, Leo.
I wanted to say actually, man, I forgot. I don't know too much. I know I can ask some questions here, but how exactly did it get out initially?
So
Did it happen at all?
I don't know the original source, but after a point of time, it was just people started texting each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know the original source. Maybe someone just read the news article and connected a few dots or something.
Oh,
I have no
okay.
idea about that. But for me, at least, it was just people texting me, and from there on.
Yeah. Oh, that's another note. If anybody does go and check out an article, the head, my name is nowhere in there because when this happened, I was still 17, so it should be noted. But yeah, if you look up like Sacramento teen arrested for attempted murder or something like that, it should.
I see. So like when it happened, like
Yeah.
what was going through your mind, or were you just like completely like out of it?
Well, I mean, it was kind of a matter of I get out of the car. Here, I mean, I guess I can explain the way it was. It's like this. It's not a parking lot where we were. It's just a gravel patch on the side of the road for the fishing hole, and I was parked maybe 2 car like widths away from him, and I think he behind his car, hiding. I'm assuming, and right as I was walking over to him, he just runs at me with the bat, and it's like maybe less than 2 seconds. Nothing really went through. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's crazy. So like you can really even
Yeah.
think to be like, damn, like if it gets me, like I don't even know what could happen next.
No, it's yeah. I mean, I can't. There's only I don't. Okay, we can get in. I was gonna say this for later, but we can get into it. There's one memory that I have very faintly between getting hit and being in the hospital, which the earliest memory I believe was 3 days later. You know how people who almost die say they see a light?
Mhm.
It's real. You see it. The light is, it's not like a ball of light. It's not like a point of light. The way that I would describe it was because I was kind of lying almost face down in this mud on the riverbank, and I was dreaming. I completed consciousness. It's like the sun coming up twice. Everything around you just gets really bright. And what comes next, I kind of connected this. I probably talked to some, I don't know if there even are experts about this, but I saw that. And then the only other thing I remember after that was kind of a combined, I don't know, it seemed to happen at the same time, was I saw a vision, or I guess, I don't know if vision is the right term, of some of my very close friends standing there next to me on that riverbank. And then I was thinking, well, I wasn't consciously thinking. I don't remember thinking the thoughts, but probably what was going through my mind was, well, you saw the light, you're going to die soon. Then my mind was, here's your friends. If you give up, if you die, you don't get to see them again, so don't die. And I like to think that I willed myself into not dying.
That's 100% correct, dude. You honestly fought through it. Like you fought through death. So that's the amount of like respect that we have for you as a person is insane.
It's a lot.
That's what you did. What you went through was so tough, and what you did, during that is you're truly built different. Like you said, you're truly built different for that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because I mean, even like one of the quotes I think I told SANKALP in one of the previous podcasts from like another filmmaker that I know is he said, in order to truly experience life, you have to like first witness death. So like I feel like once you like get in a position like that, you just like truly like embrace like how much life like really means and like how important it is. Because I feel like a lot of us, like people that like are going through depression or something, like they're just like, why do I need to be here tomorrow? But just even the fact of being there for either someone else or even for your own benefit, like it really does matter.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's good points.
And
I'm sorry, I didn't know what to say.
damn, it's a difficult segue since we just like gotten so deep already.
Uh, no, I'm. It's obvious. Like I kind of have a lot of this stuff I've told to so many people. It's kind of like a script in my mind. I kind of just went off on it, but I want to get questions from you guys. Let's cover some new ground.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get you with one real quick, and that is, other than just like your viewpoint on life, what else has this experience like kind of changed about you?
Oof. Well, I was talking to my father about this. How, in like a significant sense, I guess this is the first time in my life that I've been like weakened. Like obviously, like there have been times in my life where I exercise more, eat better, whatever, and I get a little bit healthier, a little bit unhealthier, depending on how it is. But I've never had like a broken bone or any kind of real serious injury for that matter. And coming out of the hospital, just even, recovering in the hospital, I'm like, wow, what I can do physically and like mentally, just in a sense of like staying up and not getting headaches obviously have because of medicine, but I feel weaker. And I guess for a while it was frustrating, but then I realized like, I made it this far. I can exercise. I can get better, and sooner or later teeth get fixed, and then your head gets fixed, and I'll hopefully be back to normal or whatever I think of as normal.
Yeah.
All right, Anish, you have a question?
Yeah. I was just gonna say like what are like your hobbies? Like what you do in your free time? Like what do you find fun?
Yeah. So, well, as of right now, I'm pretty limited, but generally, I'm into history, and I watch a lot of historical documentaries, read a lot about history. I Back in high school, I did cross country, and I also biked a lot, especially at the beginning of quarantine. I got back into biking, and I was doing sometimes like 60, 70 miles of biking a week. Can't do that right now, but got lucky, and I should get into that. I'm very limited in exercises, mainly because a lot of stuff pushes blood to your head, and right now with there being no bone, the internal pressure of the head is not being maintained, and it hurts a lot. So if I lean over and my head's lower than the rest of my body, headache. And I've also noticed if I like lie down, if I were to lie down for like for benching, the head being level with the body causes issues. But what I have been able to do is, family friend of mine had a rowing machine that they wanted to get rid of, and I got that for free. So I've been rowing a lot. It's not bad. Never done it before.
It's the cross country rowing practice at
Oh,
Coach
Tony, yeah.
Coach Tony.
I was lying. I have rowed before.
Yeah.
Is that where you guys first met? Like through cross country or just like in classes?
Did we know each other freshman year?
I honestly, me and Leopold's friendship kind of was weird, dude. We like, I knew he existed and I'd like talk to him, but we just weren't in necessarily the same friend group. And then in junior year, we kind of were in cross country together, and we talked more. And then in senior year, that's when it came closer because we had some classes and we were in mutual friend groups by that point. And then eventually Leopold came to the park with us usually, and that's when we really became closer like that.
I see.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I didn't want to I guess pretend to be a closer friend of yours than I actually am, but
Yeah,
you're definitely a homie. But I'll be honest, I don't know you as well as other
exactly.
people.
Yeah, like we're, Leopold's like he's real, but it's not like our friendship goes like way back or like we've been homies since day one. Like it's not like that. That's why I thought it was really important to bring you on as a guest too, just because it is not necessarily just the close ones only, right? Or the friends versus non-friends. It's everyone. Like we want to give everyone a voice, no matter what they mean or how important or how less important or anything.
Yeah.
So more than anything, we appreciate you for being here, Leopold, as a guest. And, let's continue on with some questions.
Yeah. Let's see
So
it.
I'm gonna do one kind of more a little serious, but the dude who, did this, we know that, and even you mentioned that you guys were actually tight, like very close together.
I mean, yeah, I feel like I should add to that is in the sense that we kind of drifted apart, especially after middle school and in high school. But I would definitely have considered him a friend. And in the past, he was a close friend. And we would talk like almost every day. But probably not like the last 2 years, not so much. But I knew him. I knew him pretty well.
Mm-hmm. And then just to like the fact that that happened from that person has
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you like you haven't broken off any relationships or anything recently, or at least what I know you haven't. When something like that happens, especially from someone who at a time was considered close, does that really change your outlook as to who's close and who's not?
I wouldn't say in who's close and who's not, because he was kind of. I don't want to. I was gonna say I don't want to be mean, but the guy tried to kill me. I don't. What am I talking about? He was kind of a loner, and I wouldn't consider him to be like I was friends with him directly. He wasn't part of any friend groups that I'm in right now, so it wasn't a matter of like cutting off people. No, also no one was like openly defending him. So
it's like
yeah.
you just kind of knew him, right? Is that the case? Or
Yeah, I knew him. We did a lot of, I don't know, we went camping and hiking together. It was kind of like outdoors stuff. I remember about 2 years ago, yeah, very close to this spot where this happened, like a mile away. We went shooting together, but stuff like that. It was always, we didn't hang out much like what I guess normal people do. I don't know. But about changed perspectives. I don't know if this is exactly what you wanted to hear, but I feel like even with people I know really well, there's a little voice in the back of my head whenever I'm going to go hang out with people or meet people, or I'm a little bit kind of afraid. Even if it's people where I have no reason to be afraid or suspicious, there's just something saying, well, it happened before, be on your toes. And while I'll say I've been emotionally and mentally pretty under-affected by this for what it is, that has been something I've noticed. It's cropped up a few times where it's plans with people where I would have hung out with before this happened, often with no qualms, but there's a little bit of hesitance, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what the question was.
Yeah, I feel like that would be normal, especially if like someone like you kind of know would do something like that. Like it definitely kind of breaks down that trust like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, you have any questions, Anish? You're up.
I was just gonna say like if if Sankalp, like if you've gone through anything like this or no.
Have I ever been
Well,
attacked to death? No,
Like
not
yeah,
really.
anything near death.
Near death, I have been in situations, but not, I haven't been like hospitalized for 3 days or, found where, I haven't been, physically attacked or anything like that. No.
Mm-hmm.
So that experience, I can't necessarily relate to you.
Yeah.
And hopefully I don't, because I don't think that's an experience many people should go through.
No, it's not.
But I hate the fact that one of someone I know has gone through it already, and honestly, the fact that you're still here is we're all very thankful for that. But yeah,
Appreciated.
let's change it up a little bit. Leo, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of dropped off after like episode 3 of the podcast, and I haven't
good.
watched some of the stuff in between. like, no, I can't ask that question. It's going to be a recap for the viewers then. I don't know.
do it.
Like,
We're
It's
fine
fun,
with it.
bro. We always just
Okay.
like recall an episode.
Are there
so.
any topics that you guys have considered having on the show being discussed? But you decided against for whatever reason?
I think like especially like when it came to like I think women's rights and like we were like I think we were like about to get like into like abortions and things like that, but we just like kind of wanted to be on a light note since we didn't want to like offend anyone.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
And more than anything, for like when it comes to topics about women's rights and everything, I don't really think, you know, as men, we're like,
Yeah.
it's not our
Yeah.
decision,
Yeah.
right? When it comes to an abortion, it's not necessarily our decision. It's the person who's going to get that abortion's decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we lightly discussed it and then we moved on from there.
Yeah.
Regarding that, just a little caveat. I think you're going to know who I'm talking about. There's somebody who we both know who would be, I guess, an expert or as much of an expert as a high school graduate can be on abortion, who I think you should have on the show.
I think I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about? Yeah, I think she would be really good to have on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to expand our guests. And as of now, we're probably nearly booked for even season 2, guest-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But I needed to have you in season 1 just because I needed to hear the story from you.
And that's really appreciated. I get the honor of being the first guest, I guess.
Yeah, I had to hear everything, and I had to hear like, you know, what went through for you, what was your experience. So we pushed the little people back, and here you are. It's episode 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like some people weren't probably like expecting for us to get this deep, but I mean, it's definitely a good message for people out there just to, you know, at least embrace like, you know, our life actually matters and it can be gone like within a second. We just, you know, don't realize that sometimes. So yeah.
That's true. If you don't mind, I have some unrelated questions for you guys.
It's all
Perfect. Let's do them.
One of the episodes that I forget which one it was, but it was that I really enjoyed was you guys talking about like the cultural and like social norm differences in social norms between India and here, and then also different regions of India. And I don't know, I just found that really interesting. And, I don't know too much about like the subgroups of people within India. I don't know how I'm going to format this into a question.
It's all good.
I just really like that episode.
Thank you for that.
Thanks, man.
And what we can do for you is we can kind of break down where we're from and give you a little bit of that experience.
Yeah, I was going to ask because I remember you mentioned your family's from New Delhi, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
And actually, I don't remember. Anish, what region was your family from?
So mine's in South India. It's called Tamil Nadu. That's like the community.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just to let you know, those, like, sure, they're North Indian. They're both India, but they are worlds apart. Like,
I've heard that.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, kind of being at Miraloma, like, just Miraloma is there's a lot of Indian people at Miraloma. I don't know how else to put it really, but there's a lot of Indian people at Miraloma, and the diversity amongst those Indian people is also, like, there's a decent amount.
Yeah. Because people grow up in their different ways. Just because like we're all Indians doesn't mean that like, you know, some of us are, you know, going to go into like the IT tech support or whatever stereotype it is. Like a lot of people are different in their own ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Miraloma, they released like the school district released some kind of it's like a PDF about like statistics regarding schools, and one of them was for Miraloma and included like racial demographics of the school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I believe they grouped Indian with Asian in that one. Like it was.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Wait. Let me ask a question. What was your guys' favorite moment from Miraloma that you guys both had?
Oh.
You guys have any favorite moments? I know Sankalp didn't really like Miraloma too much.
You didn't like Miraloma?
I didn't like Miraloma because of the culture of IB.
That's
I'm
a
gonna be
very
very
good
honest.
point.
The
But you
IB
said that you
culture
kind of
is.
liked the senior year though, right?
I enjoyed all 4 years, not as a student necessarily,
Okay, I get you. I get you.
but just at being at Miraloma and hanging out with my friends or being on the basketball team, the cross country team, stuff like that. Education wise, Miraloma is not.
Mhm.
I wouldn't necessarily say that I enjoyed it thoroughly. There were some
Mhm.
classes that I really enjoyed, some classes that really like helped me, but as a whole, just culture wise, Miraloma and the IB culture I didn't necessarily enjoy just because I've seen way too many people, get stabbed in the back or stuff like that, and it kind of makes you think like that's not necessarily a healthy place for teenagers to be.
Yeah, because like I was about
Oh,
to say, because oh wait, were you gonna say
no,
something?
no, you go ahead. You go ahead. I agree with everything that's been said.
Yeah, no, because something that I've noticed, especially from a lot of like Mariloma students, is like, especially like how competitive they are, like between one another. And I feel like in Folsom High, it's not necessarily like that. I feel like we try to like help each other out in a way, but I've seen like especially like some students that just like want to be better or have like a better title than someone else.
Mhm.
Yeah, and competitiveness, the like being competitive is fine. If you're competitive for something, that's perfectly fine. But there's a difference between being competitive, and by competitive you mean I want to do good. I want to be really good at what I'm doing.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a good
Versus
side
like
about it, but
yeah, and then the
yeah,
other way is that if I either I'm gonna be the best at this or no one else is, and
yeah,
I'm gonna make sure that no one else is. And I think that's something that happens at Miraloma. That if people can't be the best at something, they're gonna try and make sure that no one else will.
hmm
Yeah.
And like I mean, it's kind of mean to say, but it's it's the truth. Like you can ask Miraloma students, they're gonna tell you
Yeah.
the same thing.
At least within IB, definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, actually, for that matter, there was an eighth grader who I kind of knew, a sibling of a friend, who was asking on social media for opinions from high schoolers whether they should go to Rio or Rio Americano. And I told them that I would lean towards Rio at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah. I don't know how you guys would feel about that. I know Rio has kind of a reputation to it, but I think it would definitely be like you get the same thing out of it if you're a good student. Like if you're studious, IB, AP, you're gonna end up. You might even do better with AP. I don't know.
Here's the thing: if you're because at Miraloma, you're competing with literally the best. Like in
Yeah.
our class, we had some of the best students I've ever seen in my life.
No, like
Right?
smartest kids in Sac County. It's yeah.
Exactly. Like that. And you're competing. You to get into a college or a specific college, you're working with those people, right?
Mhm.
What I suggest to people is don't go for like a high school just because the best students go there, or necessarily because
Yeah.
college wise, you're competing with those people, and a college will only accept like 5 people max from a school. Right after that, because they have like a cap point where they have to move
Yeah.
on, and so why be at Miraloma if you're a great student, if you're a 4.0 student in the IB culture, you're probably average.
That's
Versus when
true.
you're at a different school, 4.0 AP test, IB, whatever, you're gonna be a standout student at that school. So
Yeah.
be somewhere where you stand out. That way you get more recognition. You get the recognition you deserve versus at a school where even if you do things to stand out, you're still going to be an average student.
Yeah. If you're done, I did want to add to that. I think there is kind of there's another side to this, which is going to come across as very pro Miraloma. I believe that competitive culture, while it can get very toxic and it can drag you down, it can demotivate you. I believe, at least in my personal experience, that it did definitely elevate me and encourage me in a lot of instances. Like being surrounded by all of these other people who are trying really hard academically, it it definitely got me like I maybe it's the competitive nature, but it was never like, oh, I want to be better than them, because I knew I wouldn't most
Mhm.
of the time. But I was like, well, that I want to be like that. I want to try my best to be like that. And I think probably the best scenario I can come up with right now. was college applications. Like neither of my parents went to school in the US and were kind of lost with regards of like what do I need to put for my extracurriculars and like how do I write college application essays, and talking with a lot of my classmates at Mira Loma who were all applying to pretty high tier schools, was completely lost to begin with, and just how to do that.
Yeah, like there's definitely pluses and benefits from Mira Loma. Like even what I can say from my first year in college is just because we did so much work in Mira Loma, so much writing and all that, and we were like pushed as students to kind of teach ourselves and everything. That definitely did help me in college, just because it made the first year a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of it. But
Just
then
like nothing
again,
else.
to be very honest, I didn't take advantage of Mira Loma. I wasn't necessarily the kid who cared about grades or anything. I was kind of just in class. I used to goof off a lot, and I wouldn't take things seriously. So that's why from my experience, I didn't necessarily gain too much, just because I didn't take advantage of it, or like I didn't push myself to be better.
Oh, I totally agree. But with the workload thing too, in the short, like I only did about a month of online college before the murder attempt, but I did find it like while other students in my class who were stressing about the workload and not being able to get assignments done on time, I found it to be easier. It was easier than I expected. May have been easy classes, but it felt like a step down from what I had to do in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, do you guys like know like any students that still go to Mira Loma right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, like do you know like how they're doing, like especially in the virtual environment? Because I'm sure they're doing it online though, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so like
Um,
how is it different for them? Like especially like where like in school compared to like being online. Is it like any different, or do you think like it's still the same mentality?
I don't know, actually. I haven't really talked to them about their experiences
Yeah.
online wise.
The only real contact I've had is like I haven't talked to many kids who are still at Mira Loma, and if so, it's mostly been about like student government and like school events and what they're trying to do to fill in for spirit weeks and stuff like that. Also, I see on the Mira Loma YouTube channel, because they still come out with the new video bulletins. But I don't know what they're doing academically. I mean, I think it's probably similar to what we were doing at the end of senior year.
Mm. Yeah, no, because I remember like especially with Folsom High, like I was talking to like a couple of students and also like a lot of teachers, and I feel like for the teachers, like I don't know, they've just been like struggling a lot since in order to get the kids to turn on their cameras. Since for them, like it's more important. Since I feel like high school, like you should at least pay more attention, especially so that you'll actually do better in college. But yeah, for them, it's just like been pretty tough in order to get their attention and also have like I guess a better learning environment. Since a lot of the classes, especially at Folsom High, like you have to have like that hands-on experience because like you can't necessarily like have that same equipment at home. So that's what I just found from Folsom High.
Yeah. I mean, I was back in Mira Loma for one class. I was a guest speaker in one of Carmona's classes, and like you said, no one had their cameras on really. There were people that were like cooperating or that were being engaged with the class, but there weren't that many. In a class of maybe 36 students, about 5 were being engaged with everything, and that was honestly a lot more than I expected. Just to be very blunt, that was a lot more than I expected. But I feel like the class that I talked to was either juniors or seniors, and at that point they're kind of just done with high school already, and they could kind of care less. Versus college, for me at least, from my experience, it's been a lot more. People are excited and they're enthusiastic because it's a new step into college, and just because they're socially, you have to make friends and stuff like that. You have to find people. So I feel like that caused for people to become more engaging in classes, so they get to meet people, create group chats or stuff like that. versus in high school where you already have those things established, so it doesn't necessarily matter how much you engage socially. But yeah, it's kind of just what I've come up with as of now.
Yeah. All right. You guys have anything else, or do you want to go into the audio portion?
Oh, I don't know if you guys want to hear it, but there's kind of one final part, which I guess is kind of the ongoing part, the legal aspect of it, and some legal trickery that I didn't even know you could do until now. Should I go into that?
Let's
If you want to,
start
yeah.
the audio portion with that, actually.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay,
great.
yeah,
segue.
sure.
All right, yeah.
Is there anything that needs to happen, or do we just start now?
Just start.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
So-
like at least we can say bye to the people that are watching.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys
My
all.
video viewers,
Yeah.
stay in here for the more details. Stay tuned.
Perfect. Leo,
Wait,
stick the plug.
and Leopold, wait, do you have like any social media, like Instagram, anything?
Oh yeah. Instagram is going to be Dippin' Dots or Dippon Dots, which is my last name. It's like that ball ice cream they sell you at the state fair. DIPPON, not IN, dots. I'm pretty inactive on social media, and Instagram's probably the best way.
So, yeah, but again, like for the video portion, like thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to hear like what we're gonna go into right now, make sure to listen to our audio portion. It's gonna be Spotify, iTunes, wherever it is. And yeah,
Perfect cliffhanger to listen to the audio portion.
yeah, there it is. All right, see you guys later.
Thank you guys.